Update. Should I 25 male tell my friend's 28 female fiancé we were hooking up? They just got engaged and pregnant. Original story. Supposedly, they split up last year during COVID lockdown because he was going to be spending an unspecified amount of time out of state with his family. She told me they broke up because they didn't want to do long distance. And after that, we were hanging out at my place to keep each other company. I've always been attracted to her, so I didn't mind all the time we were spending. Well, one night we smoked a joint and got handsy and flirty. I've wanted that for a long time, so we went to my bed and became intimate. From there on, we acted like rabbits, basically all the time during lockdown. The thing is, a couple months ago, she tells me came back to our state, and that they decided to get back together as a couple, so we needed to end our thing. It sucked, and I was sad because I did like her a lot. But that's how it goes sometimes. Last week, I heard they decided to get engaged, and that he proposed to her when she found out she's pregnant. It was never my intention to ever tell him I was sleeping with her because they were broken up. Also, I'm not really friends with him, as we just see each other sometimes. But I'm learning now that they were never broken up, or at least according to him. He told me they were doing a long-distance relationship, and he's happy they managed to stay strong. Just to double-check, I got confirmation that they agreed they wouldn't be open to anyone else, and he thinks she was faithful to him that whole time. Now they are engaged and about to have a baby. It's a lot happening, and I'm not sure if I should tell him she was cheating on him. This could be messing up a future family and all. At the same time, I would want to know. But what if he prefers not to? I don't know. I'm lost. What should I do? Should I tell him? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Are you sure it's not your baby? That poor other guy. You know, she would never tell him. I wouldn't want to marry someone who was cheating on me for months. I would want to know if I were him. Congrats on the kid, I think. If she was humping you like a rabbit, she surely was less active with poor guy number 2. I hope so much for you that the kid isn't yours. That would make things way more complicated. This is going downhill no matter what. What I would do is just stay shut unless they do a DNA test and it's not his, then I would tell. If not, then I would not start drama and ruin any family, even if it's actually fake. But I would tell the daughter at some point when she's past 18. Ruin a happy family? She messed up, and that has consequences. Absolutely, the long-term boyfriend should know what kind of girl he's about to marry. You're going to have to tell him. There will be backlash. There will be hard feelings. There might even be need for restraining orders if things go really sideways. But it has to be done. For no other reason, that is the right thing to do. He thought they were LDR the whole time. She probably knew this, or was under the impression that they were over, and she told you they were no longer a thing. You believed her. You didn't have any reason not to at the time. I'm just stating fact. Lots of things can be said in hindsight, but this 100% is not your fault. When they got back together, the pregnancy was discovered. You can't have him raising a child that might not even be his. That's not fair on him as a human being, let alone a father. Also, get a paternity test to make absolute sure. I get what you mean, and yeah, it's true. A down 40 update. Well, he knows. Told him the day before yesterday. I thought about telling her first, but I didn't want her to spin the story and make it seem like I'm the one who's a liar. I just texted him asking if we could meet up. He was already seeming weird that I'd ask him to meet up because I have never done that before. I still had all the texts we sent each other back then, and obviously he knows her number, so it doesn't seem like I faked them or something. He was pissed, like he wanted to punch me, but when it was all out there, he just said he can't talk right now and walked off. That was it. But she was blowing up my phone that night, asking what I told him because he broke off the engagement. On top of that, he's not replying to her. And I told her all I said was the truth. She came to my place crying about it. First, she was mad, but then she said she's sorry about everything. And she knows she had lied to me too when we were doing our thing. Then I asked her about the baby, but she claims she's not sure. They were already together around the time she got pregnant, but also she knows we were still doing it at the time too. She didn't know how to tell him, and he surprised her with a proposal when he found out about the pregnancy. Obviously now he wants a paternity test, and I told her I need to know too. She asked me what I'm gonna do if the baby's mine, and I said it'll be in its life. All she told me was, okay, good. And now we're seeing where we can get a paternity test done since you guys said it's possible to do it before the baby is born. I'm nervous as hell. Just want to get this done so we know for sure if I'm about to be a father. It's crazy when I think about it. Some of our friends texted me asking if it's true, so word got around already. I haven't heard anything from him, but it's only been a day. Still, at least the whole meeting could have gone worse, and I feel better that it's out there. So thanks for encouraging me to be honest. Oh, by the way, I don't know why this was a thing in the comments. I guess some people were just lacking reading comprehension because for some reason, you were thinking he was my friend and had it in your heads that I was sleeping with a friend's ex. So just clarifying to those that for whatever reason thought I'm a piece of crap for breaking the friend code. Lol. He's not my friend. The girl who may or may not be my baby mama is who I was friends with, not him. He was just a boyfriend of my friend. Wonder if people are still not gonna get it. Lol. Thought it was pretty clear in my original post. Anyways, that's all the update I got for you right now. All there is now is to find out if I'm gonna be a dad. You can get a non-invasive DNA test at 7 weeks. I feel sorry for the boyfriend/fiancé since he will be hurt no matter the outcome. But I'm glad you stepped up and did the right thing. You're a real one. That's what I'm hearing. We're definitely gonna do that. Only if she consents to it. If she decides she doesn't want to, it'll be a court battle or just wait until the baby is born. You don't actually get a say. You did the right thing. I'm sure if you had any idea they were still together, attracted to her or not, you wouldn't have slept with her. I would start making a game plan in case the baby is biologically yours. She can have a paternity test without the baby being born, and it will not harm the baby at all. It's up to you how involved you want to be, but wanting to be involved is going to be the best for the child if it is yours. I would not recommend getting into a relationship with her. Just stay as the child's father. And if it's not yours, well, honestly, that's the best case situation. I would not think her ex would talk to you, especially if the kid is yours, so I wouldn't count on hearing back from him. Definitely not if she was in a relationship. I've never wanted to be that guy who does something that messed up. Yeah, I know, so we're trying to find a place that does that. Like, I'm mentally preparing for it to go either way. I'll be there 100% if it's mine. Not with her, yeah, I agree. I'll just be there for my baby and help her however she needs. Talk to a lawyer ASAP. Get a custody/visitation agreement written up. Also get a child support agreement. While either of these can easily be modified or overturned by a judge, this gives you a recourse and leverage if she wants to try dangling the child in front of you as a bait to get something, or at least if she wants to just say, no, you can't see them. Under no account should you trust her to follow word-of-mouth handshake-only custody agreements. Just don't. She's a proven liar and manipulator. Always get it in writing. Understand that what she says means nothing. Not making that same mistake of believing anything that comes out of her mouth again. My dad knows some good family lawyers. Once I got confirmation that the baby is mine, then I'll be making calls. Next story is titled, My girlfriend admitted after a year that she had a miscarriage, when in reality, she had terminated. Looking at the title, I realize it might confuse some, so here's an edited version. My girlfriend admitted she had termination instead of a miscarriage. My 30 male, girlfriend 28 female, were trying for a baby last year. She got pregnant twice, but would start bleeding for what she said was a miscarriage, and she seemed genuinely heartbroken. Yesterday, she said that she needed to confess something, saying that she hasn't been honest with me and said that both of her miscarriages were actually from her getting termination pill. She said that she wanted to see how I reacted to something like that, and when I comforted her, she really liked the extra attention and did it a second time. She started saying that she was sorry and wanted to try again, but I was extremely pissed that she would do something like this, and told her to pack her bags and get out of my house. I support women getting the procedure, but this was unacceptable. This morning she texted me about 50 times begging me to take her back, and I ignored each call and text from her. When she had lost the pregnancies, it was really upsetting for me, and I went to therapy with her to try and get past the grief. Now that I know she was lying, and I don't think I can trust her anymore after she did what she did. What is the best way to move on from this? Edit. Her sister just texted me saying that now she's threatening to end herself. Now for the top advice. Jesus, there's no moving on from this. She needs serious psychological help. Absolutely do not have a baby with this woman. I saw your Reddit, Opie. Contact the police and let them know she needs a wellness check. She also needs psychological help. Terminating a baby and lying about it as a test, then doing it again because she liked the attention, is just not normal behavior by any means. It really makes you wonder what other weird things she's been doing. Listen, I am as pro-choice as they come, but this is freaking bananagrams. Intentionally getting pregnant in order to secretly terminate and garner sympathy over a fake miscarriage? That is next level. You made the right choice. I don't see how there can ever be any trust after this. She needs some kind of mental health care to get to the root of her issues, and maybe heading back to therapy yourself to process this is a good place to start. It's a pretty serious betrayal that could affect your ability to trust and form a healthy attachment with a future partner down the road. Getting procedures because you're not ready to be a parent is acceptable. Hell, it's even encouraged, since the kid doesn't deserve to be raised in a negative living condition. But getting it for the sake of attention? Behind her significant other's back? And lacking the sympathy that came with it? This woman should never have kids again. I never wished that on anyone before, but this is some psychotic crap. Wow, I've heard of mothers making their kids sick for sympathy. I'm guessing this is how some start. It's possible. If your ex is threatening self-harm, let emergency services handle it. Don't get involved further with her. Last story is titled, Girlfriend's sister is saying she's pregnant with my child. Reddit's probably not the best place for this, but I'm 25 male really freaking confused and not sure what to do. Months back, we were at my girlfriend's, 25 female, cousin's house. It was a lot of people we didn't even know. Everyone got drunk. Like super drunk. As in people were jumping into his pool naked drunk. I've only been blackout drunk one other time in my life, but this one was the worst. I literally don't remember anything. My girlfriend had to carry me away because I couldn't even walk on my own. I slept in one of the beds because we were gonna spend the night there, but my girlfriend had to drive one of her friends home. Sometime later, not sure what time it was, but it was super early. I wake up and have the worst hangover of my life. But I'm also naked except for my shirt and socks. The sheets are sticky. All I could remember are snippets here and there of someone on me, but literally no idea who the hell with. I called my girlfriend freaked out, and I remember I was crying because I felt like I cheated on her but don't remember anything of it. She had to stay longer at her friend's because she was throwing up a lot and ended up falling asleep there. We talked about what happened that day, and she definitely thinks I was violated because she saw the state I was in. But the thing was, I had no idea with who. Her cousin had lots of random friends we never met who were there. Eddie says he doesn't remember seeing anyone come to the rooms after my girlfriend took me there to sleep. Now, I'm learning her sister, 22 female, is pregnant. She came to see me in private. She's saying we did it. That she went to the restrooms down the hall from where I was sleeping, and I got flirty with her. And we acted on it. And according to her, she felt guilty for betraying her sister, but she was drunk and wanted to forget about it. We never mentioned the violation thing to her sister because I didn't want anyone to know about it. She told me she's sorry, that she didn't mean for it to happen. But she's pregnant now and feels I had a right to know as a father. I feel sick. My girlfriend doesn't know yet. I don't know how I'm supposed to tell her that her sister was the one that did that. And not only that, but her baby could be mine. Before anyone says to speak to a therapist, I'm already on a wait list for that, so that's covered. But just please help me on what's the best course of action here. How do I tell my girlfriend? Get a paternity test. You were definitely taken advantage of, but that doesn't mean that this is your child. I am for sure. Just don't know why lie about something like that, especially with how it happened. Still, get a test. She was very drunk, as she stated, and could have slept with any number of other people that night, or any night near that night. Don't be on the hook for someone else's child because you don't know why she would lie about it. People are crazy. She's an offender, so she's shown herself to be absolutely crazy. Tell your girlfriend. Tell her the full story to get the police involved. I would tell her the identity of the offender at the end, as she may need some counseling as well after that. You were violated. I'm so sorry. She obviously was not nearly as impaired as you if she remembers everything, so she took advantage of the state you were in. None of this is your fault. However, I do think you need to tell your girlfriend. She's already said she thinks you were taken advantage of, and doesn't think you cheated. If you're worried she'll be angry, I think the only one she will be mad at is, rightfully, her sister. OP. 1. Your girlfriend sounds like a keeper. 2. You should get a lawyer if you can afford one. 3. Don't tell her you believe she took advantage of you until you have talked to a lawyer, because she could easily claim the opposite. Get the lawyer's advice, but I suggest you should get documentation that she had slept with you willingly, and that she remembers you being really drunk. Send her a text saying something like, "I really don't remember what happened that night. I was so drunk. So tell me again what happened," or something like that. Then she can't retract her claim later. 4. But also, I think there's a decent chance she's making it up or that the baby is someone else's, even if she did force you. So if she really is pregnant, you should demand a paternity test. Is she going to keep the baby? She says she is. If you, OP, are drunk passed out on the bed, how are you suddenly up, alert, and flirting with her? She said she went to the restroom down near the room where you were lying in the bed passed out. Did she come to your room or what? Or does she claim you were up, out of bed, out of that room and being flirty with her near, in, or outside the restroom? It's really important to find out where this flirting took place, because it sounds made up. And like she's flipping the script to put the blame on you for initiating the situation, when it may well have been her coming into the room where you were passed out and climbing on top of you. It sounds like she's trying to cover her own butt. Don't let her railroad you. And it's a very good idea to get a lawyer right now before she blabs her story to everyone first. Agreed. Those are all valid points. I'm concerned that the sister might try to flip the story and claim he took advantage of her. OP needs to inform his girlfriend and get the police involved. Am I the a-hole for not letting my daughter live with me after my ex kicked her out? My ex-wife, 45 female, and I, 46 male, divorced 3 years ago and have 3 kids together, 24 male, 22 female, and 17 female. Since our 2 older kids were already moved out and in college when we divorced, the only custody and child support issue we had was our youngest daughter, Mary, who was 14 when we split. My ex wanted full custody while I was pushing for shared custody. I had moved into an apartment at this time, and Mary would stay with her mom during the week because it was easier for school. She would come stay with me on weekends though. I answered any questions Mary had about our divorce, but I made it a point to never say anything negative. I didn't want Mary to think that anything she had done was the cause for our divorce. I cherished the weekends we spent together, and from everything I saw, Mary enjoyed our time together too. So it came as a huge surprise when Mary read a statement during a custody hearing stating that she felt I was unfit as a parent and that she wanted to live with my ex full time. The pain I felt listening to her say those things cut me to my very core. I tried to talk with Mary after the hearing, but my ex stepped between us and told me to leave them both alone. I was heartbroken. Since then, I've only had rare visitations with Mary because she has consistently said that she wants nothing to do with me. No matter how bad it hurts, I never pushed her to spend any more time with me than she wanted to. I have paid every cent of child support and also continued contributing to her college fund. I have had many conversations with my other kids about Mary because I was so surprised by this change of behavior. They have both told me that Mary hasn't said anything specific to them about why she made a choice she did. Communication between my ex and I is not good, and she pretty much refuses to discuss anything related to Mary, who is going into her senior year of high school. I have recently moved in with my girlfriend of 1 year and her 3 kids, all under 15. Things have been good, and I'm happier than I've been since the divorce. But a few weeks ago, I got a surprise call from Mary. She said that my ex had kicked her out of the house, and she had nowhere else to go. I immediately told her that I would help any way I can. After talking with my girlfriend, we agreed to let Mary stay with us for a few days while we get things figured out. I talked with my ex, and it turns out Mary has been struggling with substance use and threw a huge party at my ex's house and trashed the place. After another talk with my girlfriend, we decided that we do not have the space to house Mary permanently. And with her current issues, my girlfriend does not feel comfortable having Mary around her kids, who have zero relationship with Mary. It broke my heart again, but I had to tell Mary that she can't stay with us. She yelled and screamed at me and reminded me that I said I would help. She's since gone back to my ex, and I know Mary needs help, but both her and my ex are refusing to speak with me. Now for the top comments. Your daughter is a minor. Your ex, who has full custody of her, cannot legally kick her out. If she does and the child lives with you, she will have to pay you child support. But also, dude, work on your relationship with your child. True, hate to say it, but Opie may need to get the authorities involved. Sounds like it's possible the ex orchestrated all of this. Info, have you considered that your ex might be lying or exaggerating the drug problem? Have you offered your daughter some form of rehab where she can live? When Mary was at our house, I talked to her about this. She said she just used weed and hasn't done anything else. She admits to throwing a party and that it got out of hand and some things in the house were damaged. I tried to suggest rehab or counseling, and she got defensive and told me that I can't expect her to listen to me when I've been out of her life for so long. Everyone sucks here, but I honestly think you're the a-hole. Through the entire post, you're upset about Mary not wanting to live with you and how hurt you were by the statement she made in court. Now you have the opportunity to spend time with your daughter and figure out why she said those things and what went wrong in your relationship. But instead of taking that opportunity, you tossed her out instead. Sounds like she was right to not want anything to do with you, if that's your idea of being a father. I don't have custody of Mary. My ex does. I do not know the legal implications of letting her live with us. Also, the house we live in belongs to my girlfriend, not me. I can't force her to allow Mary to live with us. She has her own kids to look out for. None of them have any relationship with Mary, so I don't blame her for being wary and cautious. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife and her parents that I won't force my youngest to call her mom? I have 2 children with my late wife. We had our oldest when we were just 20, and 6 years later we had our youngest. 3 months after the birth of our youngest, my wife died suddenly and unexpectedly. I found out after her passing that she'd had a heart condition that she was never made aware of. I was told to get both my kids tested, and both inherited a condition from their mom. That period of my life was traumatic as heck. Luckily, I had so many videos and photos of their mom to share. We also had her dad, who was amazing and the best grandpa to the kids. My son remembered his mom. My daughter was too young, but she's heard so much about her mom from her family. 2 years ago, I started seriously dating my current wife. I have known her for 4 years, and she met my kids once we got more serious, but not where we rushed into moving in. The kids are now 7 and 13. We've been married for a little over 5 months. We had talked about her relationship with the kids before we got engaged. She told me she wanted to be seen as another mom to them, so I spoke to my kids. My son was clear that she would never be a second mom. My daughter said she wasn't sure, but she didn't feel that way about her. I told them both their feelings were 100% understandable and fine. They both said they liked my current wife and they thought she was kind. I spoke to her about it then, and she told me she was fine if they weren't okay with it at a time. I told her she needed to be okay with it if they always felt that way. I told her she needed to be prepared for always being step to both of them. She took some time to think and said it was fine. But once our wedding happened, she seemed to grow agitated by the lack of mom title for my daughter. I think it bothers her less with my son because of his age, but she has told me she does feel different about it with my daughter because she is the only mom figure she has known. I suggested the two of us to go to therapy together to talk it out again, but she said it wasn't needed and that she would get over it. But then last week, she and her parents brought it up to me, how I should encourage my daughter to call her mom, and how my daughter deserves to have a mom in her life, how she'll never know her birth mother, which I hate that term for my late wife. They told me pushing her is the best thing for my daughter, but I told them I would never push her to do it, that her comfort in all of this is important to me, and feeling like nothing is forced on her. They told me I was putting my kids' feelings before my wife's, and I said yes. They told me I was a horrible husband and a horrible father for denying them both this. My wife's mother said I was an a-hole to string her daughter along. I told my wife we need therapy with us, and also told her our marriage was hanging on by a thread. In truth, I'm doubting our marriage over this. The kids do like her a lot and enjoy having her around, which makes this suck extra hard. Am I the a-hole? They told me I was putting my kids' feelings before my wife's. I said yes. Freaking legend. Not the a-hole. I sincerely hope Opie also looked at them like they were stupid when he said yes. Because honestly, the gall of these people to expect him to subjugate his child's emotional needs and growth to his wife's wants. Not even a want. It's a whim at best. What does it matter if they consider her as a mom or as a thundercat? As long as they get along well and they respect her, it doesn't matter. My condolences on the loss of your wife. How incredibly heartbreaking. Also, not the a-hole. It irks me that your current wife refers to your first wife as a birth mother. That stings. I hope the kids were not in earshot. It makes me smile to read about your keeping your wife's memory alive. Those kids are blessed to have you as their dad. If your current wife will not agree to counseling and continues to push the issue, which she had agreed to drop, it's time to consider a change. It stung for me too, and I can't put all the reasons into words. It feels so dismissive, like she walked out on our daughter or gave her up for adoption. But my late wife was an amazing mom. She was a really thoughtful mom too. I learned so much from parenting alongside her. Sounds like you have a huge decision to make very soon regarding your marriage, my dude. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my husband on the deed? I, 37 female, have been married to my husband, 38 male, for 10 years. We both worked good jobs, had a house with a mortgage, and otherwise lived normal lives, until 5 years ago when everything turned upside down. My husband has always liked to gamble. It was never excessive. Poker nights with the boys, a couple of trips to Las Vegas, the lottery, and that was it. Or so I thought. Eventually, all the lies and the secrets came out. He'd been gambling. A lot. Online illegal poker games, horse race betting, everything you could put money down on. He had secret credit cards, emptied our savings account without me realizing, and even took a loan out against our house, faking my signature to do so. Eventually, his brother convinced him to tell me. I'd always been good with money. I'd never been stupid. But I relaxed around my husband because I had no reason to believe he'd do something like this. We had to sell our house to pay off the loan and mortgage. We paid off some of the credit cards and bookies, but still had a mountain of debt. We even put off having kids because we were no longer financially secure. My dad, 72 male, came to our rescue. He had a decent pension enough to live on, and gave me some of his savings to pay off the rest of the debt so we could rebuild. I had initially refused, but he said it was an early inheritance and I was desperate. My husband went to Gamblers Anonymous. He had to be completely transparent with his internet and phone usage with me and his brother. If he left to go out with friends, he would have to send a photo to show he wasn't gambling. I was tricked because I said it was that or I left. He hasn't gambled in 3 years. He did slip just before the 2-year mark, ended up losing $1,500 at poker. He apologized, continued on the meetings, and nothing since. My dad recently passed, and with the sale of his estate and his savings, we have enough to buy a house again, with only a small mortgage. The issue is, I don't want my husband on a deed. The idea of us losing everything again because he remortgaged/put a loan against the house terrifies me. I don't know how I would survive if we lost it all again. I broached the idea of just my name on the deed, and when I explained why, he called me an a-hole. He said I clearly don't trust him, and if I don't trust him, why am I still married to him? His brother also called me an a-hole, said I've seen how hard it's worked and I need to forgive him and just move forward. Am I the a-hole? Sorry, I should have made it clearer. Husband stopped gambling immediately 5 years ago, made it to nearly 2 years before the relapse, and has since been 3 consecutive years sober. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. It's your money that you're using to buy your house. House is yours. Only your name on the deed is good enough. The issue is he would be contributing to the mortgage. It isn't going to be huge. We will likely be able to pay it off in 5 to 6 years, so he would be paying something towards the house. Has he repaid you for what you've paid towards his debt? If not, his contribution to the mortgage is just what is paying you back for when he lost your house 5 years ago. Hubs is still in the negative here. OP doesn't share the total debt amount, but if it's large enough to warrant house sale, savings, and early inheritance from OP's dad, that's not a trifling sum. In the biz, we call that in the red. But gambling ruins families. Pretty much any addiction does. OP not the a-hole. You unfortunately have to make this tough decision for the good of everyone. He slipped up a year ago if I'm reading right. He will still have a place to live, and maybe in the future you two can sell this house and buy another. But for now, you have to look out for yourself. Not the a-hole. It's your money from the inheritance, so you get to decide how to use it. The simple fact you're still married to him demonstrates that you've forgiven him and moved on. You've earned the right to protect yourself by keeping only your name on the deed. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now for the last story, am I the a-hole for telling my wife that she does nothing? I, 33 male, am married to Molly, 36 male. We have a son, Theo, 5 male. Molly and I got married 7 years ago, but both decided to focus on our careers before we jumped into anything ultra responsible, like children. I'm a journalist and she was a midwife, and we both did very well for ourselves. Our combined income meant we could actually survive this economy. Because we were so financially stable and kind of getting on the older end of the spectrum for children, we decided to have our first and only child, which is Theo, of course. When Theo was born, Molly and I both took time off work to spend the first few weeks with him. But eventually, my paid break ended and I was forced to go back to my job. Molly did not go back. In fact, Molly did not go back for so long that she was fired. This caused a giant rift between us at a time, but we came to the agreement that she could be a stay-at-home mom while I went to work. This worked out for a few months, until Theo started walking, and then Molly stopped doing anything around the house. She would go out with Theo all day, and I would inevitably come home to laundry everywhere. Toys scattered, kitchen a mess, and just no sense of cleanliness at all. I would end up having to clean the house after an 8-hour shift, only to have to work on reports. This has continued for the whole 5 years of Theo's life. Molly has been terrible at cleaning or taking care of the house at all, but she does good with Theo, feeding him, cleaning him, etc., but I'm always left to clean the messes afterwards. At the time, I thought maybe it was too much for her and asked if she wanted to hire a nanny while we both worked, but she refused. I've asked her to maybe clean up a little before I come home. She agreed, did it for a time, and then stopped. Yesterday I had enough. I came home from work only to find Play-Doh all over the living room, kitchen ingredients left out on the counters, water spilled over the hallway, toys everywhere, food on the floor. I feel need to clarify that I understand kids make messes. But this wasn't just Theo's mess, it was Molly's mess too. It was extra stress, and I finally snapped. I told Molly that I was done with it, and that I wasn't going to clean these messes anymore. And that it was practically her job to clean the house, and that she does literally nothing, so this should be easy for her. She snapped back saying that she takes care of Theo all day, and is teaching him and making him into a good person. Partially a lie since Theo now goes to school between 9 and 3. She said that kids make messes, and if I can't deal with that, then I shouldn't be a father. That I was horrid to say she does nothing when she takes care of a 5-year-old while I'm away. It stopped after a while because Theo came inside from where he was playing in the garden, but I got told to sleep on a couch. I came back from work half an hour ago and I'm still getting silent treatment. So I want to know if I was in the wrong and should apologize. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Theo is in the 2nd year of school. He started when he was 4 and will finish when he's 11. Not the a-hole. Your wife is doing nothing. Sure, childcare is hard, and taking care of a child all day can be a tough thing to do. But your son is in school for 6 freaking hours. What is she doing during that? That's more than enough time to do housework. I myself need an hour to simply mop the floor, do laundry, and do the dishes. Especially the messes your kid makes. Play-Doh on the floor would have earned me a slap on the head and an order of, pick it up and put it away nicely. Your wife is doing nothing all day while your kid is in school and then has the audacity to call you a bad father for working and cleaning? This woman is a joke. OP, I need you to show her this comment section later. And the whole teaching the kid to be a good person. Part of that is teaching your child to clean up after themselves. My 17-month-old helps pick up her toys. She helps throw away the trash and brings her plates to us to wash it. This is a 17-month-old toddler. A 5-year-old kid? They should be cleaning up their own messes by that age.